John, and I'm going to probably.
Okay, hi, we're back, DM1, and go ahead, Beth.
Okay, I just found a version that says revised on it that's newer than the one that I just showed. So I'm going to post it, but for right now, revised or unrevised, it's the same deal. What we're doing right now is we're going in and doing our thumbnails. So we've got a page of thumbnails to kind of work up our ideas. And we have the 6 projects, and I'm going to share screen now. And so this is the one I'm putting up here that is a revision from the one that you just saw, which was a year older, I think. So this is the latest revision. It was for fall 2019, and so I'm going to it's even though the dates aren't right on it, I'm going to go in and fix those, and then so back to your question, Gary, that probably updating, just changing the dates, but we know pretty well what to do between now and next week if you're at this point. So that would mean that project 9 has been done, and we're going straight into the final. Okay, so, but that, backing up a little bit, that doesn't mean that you can't be turning in late work and doing discussions and gathering points, quizzes, discussions, any makeup work. I accept all of that at this point. So if you have questions about work that you haven't done, then email me about that, and we can get some individual help with that. But where we are right now is starting this project. And so the overview is not my writing. Final projects are meant to give you a chance to shine. It's an opportunity to showcase newfound design and typography skills. So that's true. So you create 2 layouts with specified design criteria and specified content. Participate in a group critique of these layouts. No, so we'd be crossing that out because this semester we don't have time to do that. You will be, though, presenting in the discussion your own, not necessarily critique, but your scope agreement, your plan for what you're going to do and why you're going to do it, and why you've chosen to, what your choices were and what choices you've made. So it's like starting off a design project with a team, and you're the designer, and they want to see what you're about. They want to see what you think about the project, what you're going to do. And so this is describing your the scope of your project and your perspective on the project. So it's sort of like a designer presenting just a presentation of what the project could be like. There's a name for that, John. Oh, you're off.
Oh, sorry, muted. A name for that?
A name for that. The thing that the designer writes up to present to the client. Can't remember the name of it.
Pitch.
Are you talking about a
pitch? Yeah, a pitch. It would be a pitch. There's some more professional.
That's a layman's term, yes.
Yeah, there's a.
Well, are you talking about contract-wise or mock-up-wise? Are you
it's a proposal for your client has asked you to write up your perspective on the project. A brief?
Your bid?
A creative, I think it's a creative brief.
Could be a bid.
Well, it's something where you're throwing your hat in the ring.
And you're specking, yeah.
Words all over it. So I'm saying creative brief. So you're talking about except that it's more personal because you're learning, and I kind of want to hear or see, read what you go through when you're deciding on your making your choices. You're making your design and type choices.
A concept,
Concept,
your concept, your pitch.
concept brief. I want brief in there because I don't want it to be too long. I don't think that's what that means in that context, but concept brief. Let's call it that. I'm just going to write that down before I forget. Okay, so you're going to be writing up a concept brief, and in your discussion, as you're working on your thumbnails and as you're thinking about what's going to happen with your, which of the thumbnails looks good, and then you're going to work up two of these, preliminary choices from your thumbnails, and your thinking and letting us know what you're thinking in the discussion. And then there won't be any back and forth discussion unless we decide to do that. But if you can't apply realizations that you have in a discussion, you can't apply them, then it's kind of frustrating because you're going to be working on the actual physical cover of this. So you've got certain things that need to go on this, so that you make your list of the 6 projects that need to appear. Then you're going to have your name and a phrase or something that is, this one is takes all kinds of, you could have, you can't have a nearness without a farness is one of mine, there's things like that. So people had all different kinds of slogans that they used for that part. So that's going to be up to you. And then someplace hidden will be DM1 Spring 2020, but very, very small. So this is right here, looking at how this appears. You'd want something even smaller than that. We may eliminate that in the future, but so that's not the biggest thing on the screen is DM1 Spring 2020. You want to have that be like a copyright down the bottom. Okay. So given this, I'm still not finding the exact dimensions of this. Maybe we just, I'm sure there were dimensions. Well, I'm just going to wing it quickly here and open up InDesign and create new. And I'm pretty sure that there were dimensions on this, but I'm just going to do a horizontal layout, and then it's going to be last name, name, and underscore. This is, can't remember what we call this. I'm going to just go final one. When I figure out what it is. So I'm not going to have any facing pages because we're not turning any pages. And then I'm going to go ahead and create this. I think it probably was an 8.5 by 11 sort of thing. But for this, you are not using any photographic images taken from any place else for the background, A. So you're not like getting a picture of the seashore or something like that and putting it in the background. So you're going to be making your own art, not borrowed art. So you'd be doing your own thing. And so you may be deciding on a color scheme that you want. And so that might be rectangular. So that might be an M. So I could press an M, which is rectangle and everything. So I may want to go down here to my tools and then go and double click on black, and then maybe want to go up to my, go get my, this color was going to be okay. So pick on, say, a color like that, and then I'm got my M, and I should be able to do a rectangle here. So I may want to do a rectangle like this to make a part of this that color, and I may want to get the pen tool and see what would happen if I click on this and just see what would happen if I I'm going to take out this bottom part here, and maybe I'm going to do this. I'm just going to use the pen tool. I'm going to click here, hold down the shift key, and click here, go over here, hold down the shift key and click here, and then I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to do something like that. And oh, that's nice. I like that. So that's going to be, yes, Gary.
Sorry about that. Your dimensions and your instructions look like they're 1040 pixels by 768 pixels in the digital tab when you're setting it up. Since you're making a PDF, you're not working in inches.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, just so
So
you know.
I'm going to open a new document, and then it's going to be digital.
Maybe
The web right here. Right?
web or mobile, one of the two.
But yeah, so I think it's web, and then it's pixels. Tell me those pixels again.
Yeah, it looked like it was. Hold on. Looks like it's 1040
Okay.
by 768.
I knew it was something like that. Yeah. Okay. And then and then I think that's it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing, we can preview it right here.
Yeah, the PDF doesn't say anything else about particulars for the setup.
Okay. And so there's our frame there. Okay, good.
Professor Beth?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a question. So these are the steps for the final project, right?
Yes, and they're going to be slightly altered, and then they'll be they'll be updated a little bit. but they're
Oh,
essentially like the revised one that I'm going to show and what we're doing right now. And I'm doing a demonstration without having done the sketches first.
okay,
So
okay.
this is,
Perfect.
imagine if you will, I've completed my sketches and I'm now creating two finished examples that I'm going to choose between. So
Nice.
that part of the final project instructions hasn't changed, um, and you would be going in to create this space in the PDF for, it's going to be a PDF for web
Yeah, okay.
interactive. Okay, and
Nice.
so
Thank you.
I'm going to go and switch these colors and double click there and go click in here to what was okay. And I'm going to go ahead and use my pen tool. Just press P and click here and hold down the shift key and click up here. And just, you can go to the edges here because we're not trimming anything off. There's no bleed on this. And then so I want something that's sort of like that and sort of like that. And then I might pull that out just a little bit so I have a little more control of that. So that's white sand and aqua sky. And then I'm going to decide on my name, and since I made such a big deal about Chaparral, I'm probably going to do that. So I'm going to go in and pick Chaparral Pro and see which one I want to use. So in type font and get in here to Chaparral and see the, so I want this to be, I don't have very many choices, but maybe I'm going to have light italic and then shift command greater than bigifies it. And maybe I want this to be white. So I can go into window colors, color here, and do white. And so I'm kind of a cloud nut, so maybe this will be up here. And it might be a little bigger. And I might have to turn that a little bit. But so then I want to have something that is I need to have my clickable links. And it's a good idea to put your links all in one line or all, either vertically or horizontally so that it's easy to pick between them. And so I might put them here. And so, and if somebody could read off the list, what's on there, if you're looking at, John, do you happen to have the instructions up, the revised instructions?
I don't have them open. I can get there, but it'll take me a minute.
I would, yeah. So I think it's characters. And yeah, so that you'd want to know that. So if I can get that, hard to get the instructions up at the same time, and they're not, the ones that I had don't pop out here.
I've got them.
You got it?
Characters is number 1.
Yeah.
Typeface is number 2. Resolution is number 3. Color is number 4. Typography is number 5. Animation is number 6.
Okay. And then you make sure that those are all spelled right. I'm amazed that they are. And then I'm going to maybe go to a sans serif for contrast on this. I'll be looking at my sketches and seeing what ideas I have and pulling out the stuff that seems like it works best in the situation. So I might go up to type here and look for a font that's sort of, Bauhaus has too much character of its own. Arial Black is too common. Cooper, maybe not. Now, for legibility, that sort of thing was not particularly, but yeah, so I'm going to try that. It's contrasty. And again, when these lettings come up, they're not, I can't remember what that letting comes from. John may remember, but it's not something that I want. So I might decide that I want those to be sort of low key. And so that would be, these will all be clickable. They'll all be interactive. So each of those will be connected to a page, the page that you did or revised for each one of those topics. And I think we've gotten through all of those in here. We just took out 10, so we should be okay. And then I might want to have something that talks about, I may want another color in here that feels right. But
Hey, Beth.
yes,
I think typeface should be one word. Pretty sure.
okay.
There you go. Thanks.
I don't think so, because in this case it was a face of type, a face made of type.
Oh, so you're not using the word typeface. You're using a different.
These are the names of the projects that we did.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Because normally typeface is one word.
I know,
All right, I get it.
typeface.
Sorry. Okay.
Good point. Good point.
Sorry.
No, this is the title of the project.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
Faces out of type. It was kind of a play on words.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Art.
So I may decide that I want a kind of a feeling of, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to give it a go. A kind of a field of poppies thing going on here. So I might get the pen tool out again and then I'm probably going to, so that I may want this to be something that would go, might have to change that a little bit. I've lost my pen tool. There we go. And then I might go in here. California Poppy Town. So I've got the sand and I've got the sort of skyish and something like this, and sort of Merry-Echo going on here, real simple. And whoops, didn't want to take it out. Thank you.
Hey,
So I
Beth,
might play around with this and add more anchor points and do a little. And just play around with it. So, and then Shift W is what you do to see your whole screen. And then I would need my saying that, like a quote or something like that. And so maybe I want to do that in, maybe I want to change this to be more like regular. Yeah, well, uh, just for now, just for the heck of it. And then I might want to make a line for the type to go on. I haven't done this type on the line for a while, but so haven't done type on a path. Let's see. Oh, here it is, right there. Okay, it knows it's on the path. So that's going to be my, so I'm going to go up to my type and then I'll get the Chaparral Pro and I'll use the light italic for it, and I will get the eyedropper over here and make the type poppy color and make the type 36, and then I might change my angle of my type there or something like that. Anyway, so that's the idea, is you have a page that has these elements on it. So I might put one more color in there, and let's see if that would, what that would be. So Shift W, and so I might have another color and I might put that right here, and let me see if I can bring that other stuff to the front. Object, arrange. Don't seem to be selecting things. So that's called all white. So I'll do it like this. I just want to have a little ocean in there. Something like that. Something like that. So there's a little ocean. So I can have my dunes on my beach here and my poppies in the, yeah. So that would be kind of what you'd be doing, except you'd be starting with a lot more clear idea of what you wanted by doing the different sketches before you start, and reading and having an idea of what you're doing, and then you're also writing about what you're doing, what you plan to do, so you have it in a kind of concrete form. So writing up it's not a scope agreement, but it would be like a creative brief where you're talking about the ideas you have and why you think this might one thing might be better than the other one, and that kind of thing. So that's the sort of thing you'd be doing, and then you would save this as a. I've got to play with that curve. Save this as some kind of a. You'd have it as your version 1, and I'd have to go back and look at the instructions to see what the files are called, because we're going to make a few little changes, but at this point, it's you would also need to get PDFs of all of these projects out and organized. So that's the kind of the busy work that's essential, is to pull the PDFs out of the folder and gather them together in your final project folder. And then you're going to be renaming them, and then you're going to go in and take out the P and typeface. And then we're going to look at them next week. Yes, Gary.
Hey, my question would be, like, for the animation one, for example, that's an animation. So
The animation is taking frames and from your animation and putting them on the page.
okay, so tile them out like the storyboard in the frames.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you can use 2 or 3 iterations, 2 or 3 frames of your animation,
Mhm.
whatever pleases you, and that'll be, yeah. So that would be enough. So you're not going to have the animation playing.
And you just want one page of the final product of the project. You don't want project pages or anything.
For the actual portfolio, it's 7 pages.
Got it.
This is page 1. The other 6 are the rest.
Got it.
There are 7 pages, and these names that I put in are all going to be interactive, so that you can click on them and they take you to that page, and then you'll have a home page. This is usually 3 weeks away. We're going to be having to shorten it a bit, but yeah, so each week is kind of a major step. The first week is deciding which of the two you're going to use.
And you want this done in InDesign? You don't want us to create this page in InDesign and then export it and do the linking in
No,
Acrobat?
this is interactive InDesign page.
Okay, you want it done in
Yeah.
InDesign, no problem.
Yeah.
I've done
So
similar
it's
stuff in
gonna be
Acrobat.
Interactive InDesign. So there's a one in here that, well, I have the whole portfolio or branding guide that is all done in InDesign, that like about 15 or 20 pages of the colors that the company uses, the way the font can be used, all of that. So branding guide, it's all using interactive PDFs from InDesign. It's from, about 10 years ago.
Got it.
Yeah.
Style guide, got it.
It's style guide. This is just a portfolio, short portfolio for what you did in this class, and using InDesign as the interactive tool to make that happen,
Sounds good.
because it's a real common one to use. So yeah, and the very beginning is getting your ideas and going and getting the template page out and drawing on the template page. And if you don't have a printer, then you could just draw squares on a piece of typing paper or something, and just whatever resources you have, and then that would be your sketches for your pages, and then you're going to work up these 2 pages that are probably, this would probably be due next week, the 2 pages and your sketches. So sketching before you do these. Some people sketch after them to make, but that's kind of a waste of time. So you want to get your ideas out fast and quick and onto paper. So what I just did was not quick enough. So this is just kind of free-forming, running with it. So that would be what you do for next week, is to follow the instructions for that Gary just told me, the measurements, the format, and make 2 of these after you've made some sketches on the template, and then you would be turning these in, and at the same time you would be expressing yourself verbally in the discussion by talking about what your ideas were, how you came about them, what you decided on color-wise, and that these were your best thoughts about the 2 pieces that you have. You might say that you have a favorite one for a certain reason. Then you're going to pick the one you want, and that's the one that you're going to make interactive with the PDF, 6 PDFs that you have pulled out of the folder where they were and turned them into a PDF and named them characters, typeface, and put them in your final project folder in preparation for interactivity, for interlinking them to your homepage. And then that's the part that we're going to be doing in about 3 weeks. So that's how this thing flows and goes. So are there any other questions about it? Yeah.
So just the layout for now. Don't do the linking and everything else.
No. It starts with the sketches, and then the 2 layouts for next week.
Got it.
one of these that I made and another one that I didn't make. But you're going to make two.
Got it.
Very, very, very different ones. I would, if I were going to go for different, I'd do a red and black checkerboard and some kind of like, you know, so opposite and no photographs. You can also use illustrations that you've created if that's, and I'll be putting up some final project examples. And so that's at the top of my list is getting the examples ready for you to see, and also to revise the instructions somewhat so that they reflect what we're actually going to be doing. That'll take a little time, but yeah. So and then the following week you will have decided which one you're going to use, and you'll work it up into a interactive. We would do these in class, so we would actually start creating the interactivity in class, and we may do that in this class too. But then sometimes it's possible to do that. Follow along. If you've got it going on your computer, then that can happen. If you have InDesign on your computer, that's the other thing. If people don't have InDesign, then we have to work out some kind of substitute that would be probably working on each page as though it would become interactive in some way or another. But for now, we're using the basic format that we've used before, only it's going to be it'll be a little different. Except that, yeah, I think that this one is more adaptable to the online method than another one. Okay, so that is, say back to me what you're doing for next week. Anybody?
Now, we're going to use the thumbnail sketches
Yeah,
at the end of the project after reading the project with a few omissions you pointed out.
yeah,
And we're going to conceptualize and lay out two different spec pieces that we're going to lay out in this profile front page, which will have links ultimately.
yeah,
But for now, we're just doing the layout of the two.
right. Two layouts.
That's
Good.
it.
And a discussion.
Well, yeah, and have, right, exactly, have them detailed in our own words.
Okay.
I found your 14.4 letting.
The 14.4
Yeah,
is
I
this.
put it in the chat group, and actually the answer, the well-rounded answer, came from Eileen Streiser, how you say her name?
Yeah, Strisser, yeah.
She published a whole great article on it. I put the link in there.
Oh, great.
Yep.
On 12 over 14.4.
Yeah, real weird. I guess it's just a convention. 120% is what most programs use.
It's just a standard thing that they put there.
Yep.
And it's the first thing that you change.
Yep.
But all of my beginning students in DM2 and DM1 start right off with 12 over 14.
Of course.
And I can see it there and I go, oh, no.
Of course you can.
Okay. So I think
Are we pretty much towards the end here?
I think we're kind of towards the end. So
Are there any questions?
Any thoughts? Well, I'll be looking for emails now that I'm looking in three places for emails. Well, three places I have sent emails through. Yeah, Canvas and the regular school email, and then there's another email we have that's in my Cabrillo, and things come and go from all those different places. So I've missed a few emails, especially in Canvas, because I wasn't checking Canvas every day for emails. But now I'm checking everything all the time, and so I will get back to you if you ask. I'll try to answer everything.
And I've set these up as recurring meetings at the same time, so you can just use the same link each week that you got in your email.
Okay.
Although I'll just send a reminder each time, but it'll be the same link. So.
Okay.
Sweet.
The one that I don't leave on the screen while we're having.
Yeah, I just didn't want that. Yeah, going out to everybody. Okay, well, it sounds like we're just about done. So I think I'm going to wrap this little puppy up and then process the files and put them online.
All right. That's a nice Aurora Borealis you got going on.
Yeah, Gary's up at the North Pole somewhere.
Up in Norway.
All right, folks.
Okay.
I'm going to stop recording now. So
Bye, everybody.
bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Have a great week.
Yeah.